All right, I had a couple people let me know that Chapter 7, Section 2 also did not have any audio, so this one will have audio that should help you along. We'll look at a couple problems. First ones are just finding some z-scores. Something we wouldn't have to do as much with us using the technology. If we look at number 2, and again using StatCrunch, for a z-score the mean is 0 and the standard deviation is 1. So that's the standard normal curve. So if I go to stat, then calculators, then normal, I'll get a normal calculator. It has a mean 0 and a standard deviation is 1. So it's set up for the normal model. Area to the left of z equals negative 0.88 is the first question. So I'm just going to let x be less than or equal to negative 0.88. And it gives me the area to the left. And so we're just typing in the information and finding what percentage of the population basically is to the left of negative 0.88, of a z-score of negative 0.88. So 0.1894 would be my answer here, 0.1894. And that's what it's asking us to do on these other questions, to the left of. So we just go to our StatCrunch and we say less than whatever number they tell us. And that just gives us an area underneath the curve. If we were at 0, if our z-score is 0, that means 50% of the population would be to the left. 50% would be to the right because that's right in the center of our distribution. If we go looking at some of the other questions, like in 5, it says determine the total area in the standard normal curve in parts A through C. So A is saying the combined to the left of negative 2 and above 2. So again, looking at my picture, I could say less than negative 2 and I get a value. I also could do right of positive 2 and I would get that exact same value. Again, the normal curve is symmetric, so the area to the left of a z-score and the area to the right of its opposite z-score, those are going to be equivalent values. So the total would be to add them up. Our normal calculator will let us do in between things, so we could say in between negative 3 and so above negative 3 and less than 2, and it'll compute those values. So StatCrunch will do those things for us and find areas in between curves. But if you're looking for total, we might have to add up two pieces. But if it's symmetric, we could just double a piece. Like I know the area to the left of negative 2, so this area over here would be the same as the area to the right of 2, which would be 0.0228 if we rounded. And then looking at a question like this, the 97th percentile. This is using on the TI, it's called an inverse norm. But they gave me information, they told me that the mean is 50 and the standard deviation is 7. So I got a mean of 50 and the standard deviation of 7. And the 97th percentile means that 97% of the population is to the left of us. So I'm actually going to type in my percentage here, and I'm going to say find me what that value is. This one we're actually talking about, it doesn't say what it is. Let's say it's the number of hot dogs you eat in a year. The mean is 50 and a standard deviation of 7. This would say that if you're in the top 97 percentile, you're going to be eating around 63 hot dogs a year. But that's what, this is what, sorry StatCrunch, it's going crazy on me, it won't move. When you type in the 0.97 and then you actually compute that X value that you're looking for. Alright, so I'm going to click off that because that one's going crazy. So that's something like number 12. If I jump over to 17, I worked 17 out with somebody. The issue with this one is finding the middle 95%. So the middle 95%, that means to the left and to the right of the mean. I want to find those boundaries that give me the middle 95%. So if I go to Stat, Calculator, and Normal, well, if my middle is 95%, like the area underneath the curve, then how much is over from 0 to somewhere over here if the middle is 95%? Half of 95 is 47.5. So 47.5 is this way and 47.5% is this way. So actually to find those values, I'm looking for z-scores. It says the mean is 19 and a standard deviation of 1. So we have a mean of 19 and a standard deviation of 1. So if I have 47.5% on the left-hand side, and if I wanted to look to the left of it, that means there's another 2.5% over here. So that's why I typed in 2.5% in this right box, and this will give me the number of days. So it'd be 17. I think they said round to the integer. If I wanted to find to the right to be 0.025, I have to switch this around a little bit, but let's put in 0.025. It's going to give me 20.96, so 21 days. So the middle of this would be 95% because I have 2.5% to the right, 2.5% to the left. That's 5%, so that means the middle is 95%. So that's how you would do a question like that. And let's see. One more, I think it might be similar. Now again, this one, more than 3% of its customers, we're trying to figure out what percent of customers that receive the service for half price is. So I'm looking for a probability, but here we got no longer than 20 minutes. Oh, this one's looking for percentage. It's the part B that someone had a question on. So it says that it can do it in 19 minutes with a standard deviation of 2 minutes. The service guarantees that the service will take no longer than 20 minutes. If it does take longer, the customer receives the service for half price. What percent of customers receive the service for half price? So I want to find that percentage of the population. So I got 19 minutes and a standard deviation of 2. So again, let's go to our stat calculator and normal. So it was a mean of 19 and a standard deviation of 2. And I'm trying to find out what percent is greater than 20 minutes, because those are the people that are going to get half off. So here I got 30.85%. If I go plug that back in, 2 decimal places, 30.85%, right? So that's percent that's going to receive half off. If the automotive center does not want to give the discount to no more than 3% of its customers. So again, that means that the people are having to wait longer, but I only want that number to be 3%. Then that means my guarantee would be 22.76 minutes or less. But if it's over that, hold on one second. Sorry about that phone. But if I wanted only 3% of the population to get the 50% off, that means 22.76 minutes is what I'm looking at. So 22.76 minutes. If they go over that, then the customer will get it for free or half off. So let's see what they're looking for. Round up, so I'd be looking at 23 minutes. So that's in a nutshell 7.2. Hope it's helped, and y'all have a good night. Keep going on this chapter 7, 8, 9 stuff. Again, not as many sections before, but the material can get a little cumbersome. So keep going. Have a good night.